Hello, my amazing kindergarten artists. My name is Miss Greathead, and I get to be your art teacher. Before we get started with our very first art project together, I want to welcome you to our new virtual art classroom. I know it's maybe not what we expected when we heard that we were going to be starting school, but my hope is that you and I could have a lot of fun together making art. So, before we begin, I want to talk about what we'll be doing for art class. Every single week, you'll get to have one recorded art lesson, just like this, where I will help walk you through step by step how to create our art projects and how to learn all the things that we need to learn for art class together. Then you'll also have one live art lesson with me as well. And you'll get to see me in person, not a recording, and we'll get to talk about things, and I will get to know you better, and you will get to know more about me as well. I'll also get to help you with any problems you might have with your art projects during this time. So, with that being said, I want to get started talking about our art portfolio. A portfolio is a folder for your artwork. But right now, inside your folder, you'll have lots of different paper that will help you make our new art projects. So, I'm going to talk about first what we need to do with our art portfolio, and then we are going to make a sketchbook together. Are you friends ready? Here we go. All right, artists, let's go ahead and take a look inside of our art portfolio. Remember, the word portfolio means a folder for your artwork. Now, every single kindergarten student got the same blue art portfolio with the same papers, maybe a few different colors inside. But because everyone got the same folder, before we even open our folder, I want you to find either a Sharpie or a black marker. And on the front of your folder, right where it says art underneath that, I want you to go ahead and write your name. I'm going to put Miss Greathead on my folder because it is mine. That way, in case my folder travels with me, say maybe to daycare, my folder won't get mixed up with somebody else's folder. Before you come to school as well with your folder, underneath your name, I want you to write your teacher's name, and not mine, who your classroom teacher is. That might be Miss Beer or Mrs. Chamberlain. Maybe you have Mr. Nichols or Mrs. Schwer, Mrs. Schaff, Mrs. Moore, or Mrs. Johnson. One of those names is your teacher's name, and before you bring this folder back to school when we return, you should have your name and your teacher's name on it. So please pause the video here, grab either a Sharpie or a black marker, and make sure that your folder has your name and your classroom teacher's name on it. I'm going to pause for a moment, and then we're going to open up our folder. All right, artists. So all I have to do is just take my paperclip off the top, and I can open it up. The very first thing you're going to find is a letter to your families talking about Artsonia, which is our online art gallery. It also has some information on the back as well. So please go ahead and give this piece of paper to mom or dad or grandma and grandpa, whatever adult you have nearby, and let them read that. That's for them. Everything else in here is for you though, and you're going to need all of these materials to help make your art projects. Some other things you might need as well might be a pencil, eraser, maybe you might also need a pair of scissors at some points, or some glue. And you're definitely going to need crayons and markers at times. Other art materials you might want to have, but you don't have to have, could include colored pencils and paints. If you have these at home, there are going to be times that you're going to get to use those, but you don't always need these art supplies. Now that we know what we need, we're going to talk about some more of the things that are in here. There's some strings, there's lots of different papers, including different colors. And there's also maybe some sheets of paper that have a letter on them. And we're going to talk about all that as we go through our different art projects together. But for today's art project, what you are going to need is that first piece of string. There's going to be 4 white sheets of paper. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then a colored paper. And everyone got different colors because I wanted you to have a different color for your sketchbook. So take those 4 sheets of paper out, and like I said, after that you should have a letter. We're going to leave that in there for the next art project. So I'll close my folder up, and I can put my folder or my paper clip over to the side. So once again, what I have out for my sketchbook, I have one piece of string that was at the very front. I have 4 pieces of white paper. This is nice construction paper. And I have a colored sheet of paper. Now, when it comes to colors, my friends, I always want to give you fun colors that you like. But of course, I don't know you yet. So I want to make sure that you just got a fun color. That's going to be your cover for your sketchbook. And these are going to be some of the pages that we put inside. So now we're going to go ahead and get ready to make our sketchbook together. Go ahead, take a nice deep breath in and out. All right, we are ready to do some creating. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and grab up my white sheets of paper. I can put them all together in one if I'd like by tapping them on my table. And I'm going to fold my pieces of paper, see how I turned it sideways, like a book, because a sketchbook is a type of book. Now, if it's hard for you to fold all 4 at once, you can also fold one paper at a time. Bring their short ends together, again folding it like a book, and then hold it with one hand and press with your other hand up and down. And I can do the same thing with my second sheet of paper. I'll go ahead, use one hand to hold, and press up and down with my second hand. I'm going to repeat this same process with all 4 of my white sheets of paper and with my colored sheet of paper. For me, that's orange, but for you, remember, it might be a different color. All right, now this is the important part. We need to tuck all these pages inside of each other. So I'm going to open up my orange, tuck in my first white. I'm going to open that white up and tuck in the next one. And I'm going to keep going, kind of sandwiching them inside of each other like the paper was eating the next sheet of paper. So open it up. And it's okay if you don't get it right away. Use your fingers. And my last one, I need to open that one up as well. So they all should be just inside of each other like that. Now you remember our piece of string? That's going to act as our book's binding to help keep all of our pages together. So I'm going to go ahead and in the middle of my book, I'm going to lay out that piece of string. See how the ends come out the top and the bottom? Now I'm going to flip my book over and I need to tie my 2 ends together on the outside, making a knot. Now, I know that some of my friends might already know how to make a knot, but if you don't, not yet, you can also ask an adult for help with this step. So I'm going to go ahead and tie mine into a nice little bow. Why a nice little bow? Well, if I run out of pages in my sketchbook, the really cool thing about it is I can fold more paper and stick more pages inside of my sketchbook as I go. And voila, you have your very own sketchbook all ready to be created on. Now, for your first assignment this week, there are 2 things that I want you to do inside your sketchbook. The first thing I want you to do is decorate your cover however you would like. You can use whatever colors you want. You can put words or pictures. You can even glue things on to your sketchbook cover. However you want to decorate it. That's your first assignment for this week. Your second assignment is to open up, and on the first page, I want you to draw me a picture, and you can color it too if you'd like. But I want you to draw me a picture and fill up the whole paper with either someone or something that you love or things that make you feel happy. This is going to help me to get to know you a little bit better by drawing pictures of people and things that you love or things that make you happy. Again, try to fill up your whole paper. Don't just draw one small thing in the middle. Try to draw either many small things or one really, really big thing. And like I said, when you're done, you can color it in if you'd like. Now, how are you going to send this assignment to me? On your Seesaw template, all it's going to ask is for you to take a picture of your sketchbook. And you can send me either a picture of your cover or of your first page. You can choose either or. And then you'll send that to me so I can see what you created and I can get to know a little bit more about you. Now, whenever you are done with an art project, if it's dry, for example, I haven't put paint or glue on it, such as my sketchbook, and I need to put it away, I'll go right back to my art portfolio, I'll open it up, and I can tuck my sketchbook right on in. Notice how I'm tucking it all the way to the fold and to the top of my sketchbook. That way, when I put my paper clip on top, which again, you might want some help from an adult for this step, it will hold my sketchbook in there too. That way, all of my art materials are right here, ready to go for next week's art lesson, or for when I see you on our live meets. All right, artists, I hope you have an amazing time making your new sketchbook, decorating it, and filling it with things that you love. And I can't wait to see you soon this week. For now, I'm going to say goodbye and happy creating.